if I was born with a mind, then wasn't I also born with an understanding, right? And if I was born with an understanding, then wouldn't I be self-executing? Now, self-executing, according to the NOLO legal definition, is immediately effective without further action, legislation, or legal steps, right? So if God, of the creator of Christians' understanding, right, it's a God, a creator of all, and like I say, you said at my conception, right, my commandment was written on my heart, then aren't you saying that I am self-executing, right? There's no more need for God to do nothing else with me because he created me perfectly for this moment. I would be self-executing, right? See, and this is what I'm saying, like, what is real? Now, okay, now wouldn't God then make me in self-defense? Think about it. If Adam violated the covenant, right, which caused Moses to have to go back into Egypt and free every Israelite, and then that led to Jesus being crucified for the sins of the world, right? So then wouldn't then Dr. Martin Luther King came along with Minister Malcolm X. In that great generation, it was a bunch of prophets, right? Mr. Fred Hamptons, Mr. Bobby Seals, Miss Angela Davis, Dr. Martin Luther King, Minister Malcolm X, Mr. Huey P. Newton. A lot of people, right? You can't name them all, right? But history has recorded them, right? Now then here I come, right? Now wouldn't I be created in self-defense? Now the legal definition of self-defense is the use of reasonable force to protect oneself from an aggressor. Self-defense shields a person from criminal liability for the harm inflicted on the aggressor, right? So now, if God knows, right, that you are praying for deliverance and God knows everything, well, if God created me, wouldn't God have created me in self-defense of you, right? Well, if the devil attacked me, he couldn't have had created me in self-defense of myself, because when I went into court, I wouldn't leave humanity. I wouldn't leave this generation in the lie that was told on me. So now, when you read Genesis 3 and the serpent starts telling Eve that if she bite the fruit, she wouldn't surely die. See, that's what Satan doing to me, right? So self-defense would be evidence. Now let's look up evidence, right? Now, so that means God would have gave me the Bible in self-defense, right? See, admissible evidence. So the Bible would be then what they call admissible evidence. Admissible evidence is legally defined in the NOLO dictionary as the evidence that a trial judge may allow in a trial for the judge or jury to consider in reaching a decision. Evidence is admitted or deemed inadmissible, based on the applicable rules of the evidence in the place where the case is being heard. The basic rules of evidence are the same in almost all jurisdictions. There are also both federal and military rules. Now, if I am a military man and you have given me an oath, my country has given me an oath to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic, then am I not within my military rules, right? So as a military man, I'm within the military rules that govern me, right? The rules of engagement, as well as the federal laws, because I'm using the Florida Constitution in the district courts, and I'm using the United States Constitution in the federal courts. That's in almost all jurisdictions. So that's federal, right? That's state court in the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida. On August 12, 2008, I used the state laws. I used the state constitution for the state of Florida. I used the state a Bill of Rights for the state of Florida. So see, in that jurisdiction, I was within the rules of the law. Then in the federal courthouse, I used the United States Constitution. In the military, I used the Military Code of Justice with the rules of engagement. Then now, so see, by me not knowing none of those other laws, the Bible then is now admissible evidence. The Bible as well as the Quran. Because if you say that that is God's testimony, and I am I am created in self-defense of God, then now that you have lied to Eve, right? Now I am the evidence of your deception. Because I'm doing what Adam should have done. Adam was supposed to stay in accordance with the covenant. He wasn't supposed to follow Eve. That's when lust entered into the Garden of Eden and love left out.